97 cats seized by animal control from a woman who runs an animal rescue.
And then the day after, she's still fundraising and adopting our pets. Now, how is she able to continue operating?
ABC 2 News' Mallory Safaste has more on the incident and how it's not the first time it's happened, and also a warning for consumers to do their research before they donate to a charity.
On the surface, Charm City Animal Rescue checks out. Its website states its mission to rescue, provide care to, and rehome cats in crisis. Its Facebook has 21,000 likes and lots of posts of cats in need of homes. And it brought in nearly $8,000 during a fundraiser last November. What's not listed, though, are the encounters Michelle Ingrodi, the head of the organization, has had with animal control. In December, nearly 100 cats were seized from her properties in Cumberland and Frostburg and brought here to Allegany Animal Shelter.
We don't have an option, so we've got to figure out where we're going to put them and how we're going to house all these animals.
All of the cats in this room are from Charm City Animal Rescue. For the past 2 months, Allegany Animal Shelter has been caring for them, and they can't move them or do anything with them until the case is resolved. They were first made aware of the conditions after receiving complaints about the smell.
Unacceptable conditions, and then there were some underlying health issues that have come to light.
A similar story back in 2014, 35 cats rescued from Ingrodi's property in Baltimore City. According to the report by Animal Control, Ingrodi repeatedly failed to comply with the city's health code. Officers found unsanitary conditions, sick cats mingling with healthy ones, and dirty cages and litter boxes.
Animals not being taken care of as they should be, feces all around, urine, smell, stuff like that.
That's according to one of Ingrodi's prior volunteers and fosters. She now works for another rescue and didn't want to be identified out of fear of retaliation. She cut ties with Ingrodi after all her foster cats were adopted and after she started noticing some unusual behavior.
When fundraisers were for specific animals, it did not necessarily go to those animals. Some did and some did not.
She said after the incident in Baltimore, Ingrodi moved her rescue out to Cumberland.
She's been running the rescue full force. And everybody hoped that when she went to Cumberland, it would change, but apparently it hasn't.
The problems continued, and after multiple violations and even criminal charges, no one at the Secretary of State's Charity Division was notified.
You need to go through the paperwork process. It's easier than it used to be to become a nonprofit, which is good, and it's also not good.
Charities that ask for money are required to file financial paperwork each year with the Secretary of State. However, there's no annual inspection. Like Animal Control, they're mostly complaint-driven, and if they receive one, their investigations division looks into it. When we asked about Charm City Animal Rescue, we were told they're not in compliance because their paperwork hadn't been filed since 2014, but no mention of the animal cruelty charges filed against Ingrodi.
It's not the first time this has happened with Charm City, and frankly, it's really not the first time it's happened with, other shelters and, or rescue organizations as well.
Christine Sandberg runs Rescue Well, an organization that provides support to pet owners and shelters. She also founded a coalition of rescue organizations that shares best practices and keeps an eye on one another. She believes Ingrodi probably had good intentions, but in a system that lacks policing, she wants to warn everyone to really dig before donating.
Meet the folks that are behind the organization, check out the facilities, talk to volunteers, do a simple case search, Google search, do a little bit of investigative work. It's worth it for the animals and, it's your hard-earned money.
In Allegany County, Mallory Safaste, ABC 2 News.
Now, Ingrodi appeared in court on Monday. Back in January, she was charged with 97 counts of animal cruelty.
Now, her defense attorney filed a plea of not criminally responsible, meaning she will have to submit to a psychological evaluation to determine her mental state. Now, in the meantime, Allegany Animal Shelter will continue to care for the cats until a decision is rendered.
ABC 2 reached out to Michelle Ingrodi. She declined to comment. Tomorrow morning on Good Morning Maryland, Mallory Safaste will have more on how charities are monitored, as well as some tips for consumers when you're deciding who to donate to.